Okay, in this demonstration I'm going to show you what will happen if you're using the write-on effect and you're trying to use a path to generate the write-on effect, to manipulate the position of the write-on effect, such as writing on text. I'm going to attempt to have the position of the brush paste to the wrong place. The path will still follow the path, but it might start at the wrong spot and then write on the wrong part. So let me just create some text first. Just call it test. Make it bigger. There. Now I'm going to create a new solid and see if I can do a little experiment where I have my solid be a different size, but I'm going to use my my mask and draw it on the solid instead of right on this test layer and see what happens. Alright. This is going to be a little bit different method than I showed you originally, but I'm just trying to show you how to fix the problem of the path being pasted onto the brush position in the wrong spot. So I need to, with my pen, I'm going to draw my path over the solid layer. So I'm going to start off to the side here, just for giggles. E's are weird because you have to go back. Oops. And then I'm going to go, who writes their S's starting from the bottom and going up? First time I saw somebody do that, I went, what? Alright, so there's my mask. I'm just having it go off here for safety. Alright. Now for the text layer, test, I changed the scale on this, so I may be screwing this up already. Let's paste it onto a new solid and do a track matte. So this solid I'm going to make the actual comp size, and I'm going to make it a lighter gray. Click OK. Now let's go to Effects and Presets and use the write on. And we'll, okay, going from top to bottom, let's make the brush size big-ish. Let's make the brush hardness 100%. We need to make the brush spacing as low as we can so that it'll, rather than be dots, it'll be look like a solid line. And then we're going to do this on transparent. Okay, so right now, if I make this really big, my write on is just right there in the dead center of the screen. So what I need to do is go to my dark gray solid, hit M for mask, copy the mask path. So select mask path, hit C, Command C, go to the light gray solid, hit E for write on, and I'm going to add a keyframe to the brush position, and then select brush position and hit Command V, and that'll paste that on there. And I accidentally hit the right spot. So let's do this again. You're going to love this. I'm going to hide that layer, and I'm going to do the write on effect directly on the text layer. So let's make this big. Let's make it reveal the original image. Brush hardness 100%, brush spacing all the way down. And then let's go to brush position and add our first keyframe. Now, let me go down to this dark gray solid and confirm that I have the mask path copied. Command C onto my clipboard. And then go to test. I hit U because I already put my brush position keyframe in there. Select brush position, hit Command V. Let's see where we are now. Still did it right. All right. Well, that's good. Let me try to get this wrong again. I think After Effects got smart with the write-on effect because that used to get messed up all the time. Let me change the... All right. Okay, so let's pretend that didn't work and it's doing something like oops. Okay. I will mess this up, I promise. I'm messing it up. All right, so let's pretend your write-on effect does this. Wrong, right? So what you need to do is go to the first, or go to the, I like to go to the last keyframe because that is where I wanted to end up. But you have to select all these keyframes. Then you can't just grab it and move it because that'll only adjust the last keyframe. See how I just messed that up? What you have to do with all these keyframes selected is you have to adjust the values by scrubbing them until that last point matches up. And the best way to do this is to have your write-on effect be on the same layer that your mask is, because then you can match up the last point of your write-on effect with the last point of your mask. What I mean by that is, let's go back to the dark gray solid and do the write-on effect on the dark gray solid. Put it here. Brush position keyframe. Let's make the brush size big. Make it hard. Make it no spacing. And then have it right on transparent. Now it's going to put it on black. Now let's go mask path. Command C, click U on your keyboard to reveal the keyframe for that brush position. Select brush position, hit Command V. There, it went in the wrong spot. There, it just happened. So if this is what happened, now what I need to do is select brush position and change these brush position values till this last point matches up with the last point of that mask. And that's how you correct that. Now, if I wanted to, I could use this as a track mat for the text layer. There. Well, that takes longer to render. Let me delete the write-on from the text layer. Beep. Okay. And then it's just one word, so I might take this last keyframe and what these little keyframes mean. You have a diamond at the beginning right here, and you have a diamond at the end, and then you have all these small circles representing each vertex on the mask or on the path. If you want this animation to happen faster, all you have to do is drag the last keyframe or the first keyframe, and you just have to drag them closer to each other. All those little dots are called roving keyframes. So what they'll do is they will equidistantly space themselves in between the two diamonds, no matter how far apart the diamonds are from one another, to adjust the speed. By default, when you copy a path onto an effect, like the position of a lens flare, or the position of ride-on, or the position of, or the position of the layer itself, by default that space is going to be 2 seconds, and then you can adjust the speed from there. So now it's 1 second. See how fast it goes. Okay, a lot faster. I hope that answered your question. Did it? No? Not at all?
Okay, I'll have you look later.
Okay, here's another issue that could happen. Test problem. Let's say I've got 2 lines of text, and as my first line of text is writing on, my second line of text is accidentally becoming visible below it. Earlier than I want it to. Oops. Here we go. All right. Is this what's happening to you?
I think she was trying to put the pen on it so a pen would be writing it and it wasn't aligning right. Is that what you were asking?
Well, that was one of them, but like the start of my E, I'll just show you later, it's okay.
You use the same mask. I'm trying to guess at what your issue is here. All right. So let's pretend I have, let me just make a little graphic here. Make a new one. Have this one be 20 by 20. That's really small. Let's pretend I'm trying to make something follow. Okay, cute little graphic. Let's go back to my first comp and put my little arrow in there. Let's pretend I want this to follow that same position. I'm going to start by putting my, let's make this bigger. This is way too small. All right, bigger now. Let's put my anchor point using my move behind tool, which is the Y, move behind, V selection. So let's take this same mask path, M for mask path, copy that. Let's paste it to the position. You've got to add a position keyframe and then paste that to the position of this arrow. Now what we have to do is make that first keyframe line up there and make the second keyframe line up there. Now it'll look like that's writing it on.
Okay.
Is that what you were trying to do?
Yes.
So the same principle for copying the mask path to the position of the brush is the same as copying the mask path to the position of the object you want to look like it's drawing it on. Okay, so I could now swap this arrow out for a pen, make sure that the anchor point is at the tip of the pen, and then the pen will write it on. Was that the question? Okay, cool. All right, we managed to accomplish something. Okay, here's another thing. Now that I've done this line of text, I can add a line of text and have this arrow go over and follow. So let me show you what I mean by that. I've already got this first mask, but if I go and add a second one, starting over here, and let's pretend there's more text down here that I'm following. All right. I've got a second mask. If I hit M and select the mask path for mask 2, which is this squiggly line down here, copy, paste it to the position of this guy, right there, it'll add more keyframes. And then I can do the same thing to the brush position of the right on, paste it right there. It's the same mask that I'm pasting. And now, if I speed all those up together, it will write on this text, but then it'll go over here to the beginning and it'll draw those squigglies. And if I turn that layer on, that's what it looks like. Ooh, look, that went to the wrong spot. See, it was supposed to paste it up there, not down there. So again, I can take these keyframes and adjust them using that brush position so that the first position matches up there. And then I have to take these. I can actually take these coordinates for the brush position now and paste them onto the position of that arrow layer. Oops, position. There we go. Now it's following, sort of. See, I messed up the coordinates of the position. Now the position of my arrow is off. So if I select all those keyframes, now it'll just move that group of keyframes. Let's have those match up. There. Now if I make this invisible again, this dark gray solid with the right on effect, it'll draw the squigglies over the top. Add motion blur? Okay, I think that's good. Unless you want me to elaborate on that anymore.
Good.
Good.